quirky catgirl, sexy succubi, and rockstar zombies running amok, it's hard to think of a cast quite as original as Capcom's famous Night Warriors. But did you know that this kooky Japanese classic has roots much closer to home than you think? In spite of its outlandish cultural wrapper, the game we now know as Darkstalkers actually came about from a US designer's love for fantasy and old-school movie monsters. Former Capcom producer Alex Jimenez recounts the tale of the series' conception in his own words.
They came to us after Street Fighter II had done well that summer. They were like, we have this engine that no one else has. We have the head-to-head combat system. And they literally looked at us and then they go, what can we do with it? To which James and I were both like, what, are you kidding me? What could you not do with this, I wanted to do Universal movie monsters. I'm a big fan of the old Universal movie monsters. And they were like, well, they don't want to license them, so we'll just make our own. So I kind of whipped up the Darkstalkers in about an hour or so. I wrote their backgrounds and whatnot. The only one that they had a problem with the Darkstalkers, they had two problems. Was originally, Morrigan was supposed to be a female vampire, and I changed her to a succubus. So we already got a vampire there. That was succubus, and they didn't know what a succubus was. Like, what's a succubus? Don't forget, I'm pitching this to the Japanese, so it's like it's a kind of female demon that kills men by screwing them to death. And they were like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, yeah. Then suddenly they were all for it, The only battle I lost with Darkstalkers was the original proposal I had for Felicia was a lot different than what they went with. I had originally envisioned Felicia to be, I wanted her to come from Africa. I wanted her to be this really beautiful, tall Maasai woman, with short cropped hair who would fight. She had really, really long legs, really tall. And then when her special move, she would jump into you and shapeshift into a Black Panther and land on you and claw you up and flip back, She would shapeshift back and forth. They sent me back Felicia, the little white kitty cat, which was like, I was like, all right, well, can't win all of them, so we'll go with that one.
He also went into detail about the various Hollywood homages seated in each character's names, starting with the fishy merman, Rikuo.
The characters in Darkstalkers are all named after, a lot of them are named after either actors or from the actual mythology. Riku is named after Riku Browning, who played the creature of the Black Lagoon. So, I wanted to give some credits in there,
Other references extend to fellow movie lot monsters, folklore figures, and beyond. Bishamon draws a stark comparison to Bishamonten, the Japanese god of war. Huitzil to Huitzilopochtli, the ancient Aztec god of sun and war. John Talbane is likely a reference to John Talbot, father of the main character of the film The Wolfman. While the name Morrigan itself is a clear Celtic shout-out to the so-called Phantom Queen, her sister Lilith also has a clear connection to mythology in her Hebrew-derived name for female demons. Alex's example cites Rikuo as a nod to Rikuo Browning, the actor who starred in Creature from the Black Lagoon, which naturally makes Victor von Gerdenheim a tip of the hat to the one and only Victor Frankenstein. Other characters like BB Hood and Sasquatch are dead giveaways, but there are many others whose references are still cleverly tucked away. How many can you come up with on your own?